Oh, the gate literally opens at 11. Oh, it opens at 11 and the display starts at 12, it says. What's over there? Oh, something there. Oh, buddy. He's looking at the camera. Where? Oh, he's up there. Oh, you making a racket?
Like producer Marcus Fraser.
Is he?
Tickets on my phone, should have
Yeah. Well, it's like a big park. I don't really know, they haven't told you much. What do we do then? Where do we go? Well, there's meerkats down here. Big old piggy. Hello. Oh, big piggy. From New Zealand. I haven't got any food. Hello. There you go. Pretty. Oh, massive. Oh, massive. You know, buddy. You're a big old raven, aren't you? Hello. Oh. Hey, VR. Look at your big face looking at you. And they stare right at you. He's big. They're both big. Ah. There's some massive fat pigs over there. They come over to you. Start range. There's some food. Yeah. They're in the thick mud by the playground. They just live in the mud. Oh, there you go. Yeah, because I think they all come out for bird shows soon.
Great.
My name is Winky. Here's my gloves. He's ready to fly, this one. Hello. Can you go in that area, or is it locked in there? Can we go in there? Come on, buddy. Is there anything? Have you been round here yet? Yeah. They're so big, aren't they? How has he lost an
I wonder
eye?
if that one is a female. I wonder, is it a female? I don't know.
You wanna walk round here? You walk round here? They call him Winky, he's got one eye. Or something. What's in here? Coming out. Oh, I see you at the end, sir. Hello. Hello. Are you coming to the bird show later? A beautiful English day. in here.
Have you been up here?
No. Oh, is that the alpaca?
I think they're sheep.
Oh,
Yeah.
the sheep, isn't it?
Yeah. We are hilarious black-nosed sheep.
Oh.
We have been nicknamed the cutest sheep. They are very cute. And normally bred in Switzerland. They are very cute. I can see their eyes.
Yeah, all the hair covers it, I
Very
think.
cute.
You see the pigs?
Oh, right, at the other end,
Oh.
by the playground. There's 3 fat pigs. But they're from, is it New Zealand, I think? They're not like ours, all hairy. Oh my god.
It is evil.
I'm going to be sitting out there watching a show.
No, this is not right in the middle of the field.
Alden Bennett.
Then it carries on to the inside. Yeah, look inside, that's amazing.
Yeah, got some goats. Here we go. Oh, pygmy, the little ones. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah, he's using the fence to hide from the rain. Clever.
Well,
And he's gone inside.
If I get from the lane, there's nothing there from the wind. I'd go inside if I did. It looks a bit, the accommodation looks a bit battered. I
It all looks a bit old, to be honest.
It might take long for him to make the place look.
Oh, but he's big, isn't he? Hello.
I'd go inside if I was you, mate.
Don't they have their coats are waterproof?
They are.
Just chewing away.
Oh look, there's the alpacas on the left. Oh yeah. Can you see? Not much. Are they all empty? Well, doors open. Oh, they're all doors open.
That one's not. Got sharp on beef on it.
They've got Crystal Palace football kits in here.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, because they're the Eagles. There's 2 Crystal Palace football kits. Oh, look at the size of him.
Perhaps he's kept here. You see.
Not too far, no. He's massive.
What? Little boat?
The size of him.
Fortnite.
Yeah,
This one.
maybe.
You keep yourself warm, mate.
Yes, he did. Oh, look.
He's spoiled, this one.
Yeah, he's named Noble. Go on, Mark Noble. He's got a heater.
I like this, he says.
Yeah, but look, they come from hot countries, that's why.
Oh.
They're not native to our countries, it's too cold for them.
God, look at him. Guys, reminds me of
That's a vulture, surely.
yeah. Look at those. They look scary. Oh blimey, look at look at him right there. Hello. I Are these all part of the bird show or not? Or is it just the eagles? It's a famous bald eagle though. Oh, there's a little one. Little falcon. Another falcon. Quite small, aren't they? But you can compare them to the vulture. Even some of the eagles are mahoosive. I think they're building.
Am I imagining it back into a peach?
Oh, Chilean. Tawny eagle. He's got his heater and all. He wants to fly. God, he's big.
Did you see the size of his wingspan?
Oh my god, he's big.
He is big, but why is he chained up?
They're all chained up.
Yeah, why he can't even fly? Look, he's flying. Look at his wings.
Well, they know it's the show soon, I bet. Maybe they all come out to fly, I don't know. He's big, this one. Look at that. Oh. Stepping. Hello.
His wings.
Yeah, I wonder if he part of the show. I don't know which birds are part of the show. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be good. He really wants to fly, that one. Woo. Oh, over here. Oh, it's husky, yeah. Oh my gosh, loads of husky. Oh. Surely they go for there. They need to. Hello, buddy. You need bigger area than this, don't you? Huskies are explorers. Do they let you out to run? Yeah, surely they let them out to run.
Well, huskies are working dogs, so
Yeah.
you can't keep them.
They need like lots of activity. My couple of students got. They need constant activity.
Look at the space, there's nothing.
Can they go from section to section? Or, no?
No.
That's why they're all bored and sleeping. It's too small for huskies. Yeah, they must be let out. Hello. Do they let you out to run? Hope so.
Look, that's the boar bale they're digging.
Yeah, this is a tiny area.
It's ridiculous. It should be 5 times this size. Crazy.
That's where they just walk in circles, bless him. Yeah, the alpacas make strange noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to escape, don't you? Don't blame you. Beautiful dogs. They'll be set free. He's in a little barrel there.
Yeah. Oh look, there's more down there.
Oh. Where are they? Where are those people?
Yeah.
Oh, look. Oh, look, the huskies all woken up. Oh, look, they've all woken up. What can you see? What can you see? Oh, it's the alpacas. You don't like the alpacas? You've got beef with the alpacas. They're walking alpacas. God, they all come alive. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they want to run, don't they? They want to get out.
Yeah. They do have a lot of energy. Look at them all. They've gone crazy because the alpacas. They're looking for the alpacas.
Yeah, exactly. It's 11:45. So we can make our way back.
They all just came alive.
It'll be fun. There's that one at the back as well.
They want to hunt. They want to hunt the alpacas. Work out this one. Don't they let you out soon for a run?
There is a tall one, so I don't know where that one's gone.
Little baby ones.
They've gone in that box,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a really tall one.
There's one at the back and the left. There he is. Little.
This is don't bang on the glass, Matthew.
I'll do it.
Yeah,
Is it really?
yeah, exactly what it says. Go on that sign there. We walk past it.
There's that one. Because they think they're getting food.
I'll rattle it instead.
Hello.
not a baby cat, it's meerkat. It's a fully grown meerkat. Yeah, meerkat. Oh, meerkat! I saw it, a meerkat looking like... Oh, yes! I scored the one. Meerkat! Ball time! That's amazing, a meerkat. Look, a meerkat taking that castle. Look, a meerkat came out.
We've got to put a green pencil, haven't we? Yeah? Yeah. Right. They've all come to say hello. They've all come to say hello.
Why would the meerkat?
Right. Right, come on, let's go.
Come on.
So displays inside.
Mimi. Cinnamon.
The display's inside in case you wanted to watch the display. The bird display is inside because it's
Okay.
raining. If it stops...
No.
Bradley, are you starting? So, yes.
Display って何？
中やんだよ。
やるの？
鳥で。
じゃあ行こ
中にあって。
う。ふーちゃんほら。こうよなんか。
Right, let me just give this to...
Okay, Hamish, come on, show me.
Okay. My fingers are freezing today.
They're excited to see you.
That's because I've more food. But we've got to get some water first. For their
Look here.
Get that done first.
But to start with, we are going to be joined by Thelma, and Thelma is of course a barn owl. But she isn't just a barn owl, she is what you would call a female, a female European barn owl. And it is really important to describe her like that. Shh. Yes. She is really important to describe her like that. Because you find barn owls all around the world. And when I say all around the world, I do mean literally. You find them on 6 of the 7 continents, so every single continent except Antarctica. And even then, within those continents, you find them in so many different areas. You find them in big open fields, hunting. You find them in really dense treeland with their nests. You find them in towns. You find them in the countryside. You name it, you get yourself a barn owl, pretty much. And because they are so widespread, you will notice there are some ever so slight changes. So if you go and you go holiday to a really snowy place, say Scandinavia for example, you might notice that the barn owls that live in that area are a little bit bigger and they're a little bit more pale. If you live in an area where there's lots of snow and you look like Thelma, you're going to stand out. You want to blend in with your environment. If you're a barn owl that lives in really dense trees, you're going to want to get in the garden, so on and so forth. But Thelma, being a European owl, and Britain being a European country, by geography that is, this is our barn owl. This is something that we can be proud of. So if you ever go out into the countryside and spot yourself what you think is a barn owl, that's what it should look like at least. You might get some slight differences, but that is a pretty good template. And as I've mentioned quite a few times, Thelma here is of course a lovely little lady as well. Now barn owls are a little bit unusual because they are something that we call sexually dimorphic. Now that is a very fancy, long-winded term that literally means boys and girls just don't look the same. It's a really such a long-winded phrase for something that is ever so simple. Usually with birds of prey, they are absolutely identical. The only giveaway occasionally is girls are a little bit bigger, boys are a little bit smaller. Like I said, barn owls, a little bit different. So if you have a look as she flies around, a little bit too up close and personal, underneath her chest, about her little armpit region, she is filled to the brim with these little black or brown dots. Those dots tell you you are looking at a female barn owl. No dots mean you're looking at a male barn owl. It is really simple once you get the idea. And if you go out, you're a bit of a bird nerd and you like to birdwatch every now and again, and you've got a good enough camera and a good enough pair of binoculars, and you can spot those dots, you can work out whether it's a male or a female again. But I'm going to stop talking around barn owls in particular for a moment or two. And I'm just going to talk about all of the owls we have here in England. Because we aren't exactly a country that collects them a lot of wildlife. We used to have things like bears, wolves, lynx, vultures. We haven't really got any of them anymore. But what we do have is quite a nice amount more owls. And in no particular order, Britain is currently home to the barn owl, the little owl, the tawny owl, the long-eared owl, and the short-eared owl. And if you remove the little owl from that list, because they kind of are, as they say, just very little, all of them like to hunt one main food source. And that food source is a little bit gross, so bear with me. They absolutely love to eat rodents. So that's things like baby rats, mice, moles, everything that comes into that little bracket, these birds absolutely adore. Now you might think, why is Brad talking about this? It's a very gross subject to talk about on such a rainy, drizzly Sunday, but it is important to mention it because there is a very rapidly rising trend here in England at the moment that all of you adults can do something about without even really thinking about it, and that is the usage of rodent poison. If you've got yourself little rodent from home, you put down some poison, within a few days, your problem is solved. But it doesn't take immediate effect. That rodent can run around with a belly full of poison for 3 days, 4 days, sometimes a little bit longer. And in that period, it doesn't just go, oh, I've eaten some poison, do nothing. It carries on, it will try and breathe, it will try and find something to eat. And all the time it's doing that, if there's a barn owl sitting in a tree, it finds that rodent and eats it, it also gets a belly full of poison. And we don't want to hurt owls. I doubt there's anyone in the world that has a hatred of owls. They are some of the cutest, most cuddly looking, majestic looking birds that you can think of. Especially if you compare them to things like vultures. People usually think vultures are a little bit gross and ugly. You compare them to eagles. Eagles are very pretty, but what kind of maniac wants to hunt from an eagle? Owls is that kind of sweet spot. As I said, we don't really want to hurt them, but we do need to be a little bit more conscious in how we come up with it. Google is much better than I am, I'll be honest. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of different methods to get rid of little pesky rodents, whether it be at work, at home, you name it, there's a solution. But the solution that I'm going to try and sell people today is an owl box. Because an owl, a film the size and stature, eats somewhere from 200 potentially 300 rodents a year. And that doesn't include any boyfriends that Thelma might get, that doesn't include any babies, that is just one owl, 1 year. That is really extreme food, really, for a bird that is so small. And if you put up an owl box and your garden is quite long, it's quite quiet, and there's a good amount of food, watch out! What are you doing, Thelma? And there's a good amount of food, those owls are immediately going to want to put their babies in. And baby owls are one of the cutest birds of prey things you can actually see. And it's a brilliant reward just to put in a little box up and forget about it, right? It's a really simple trade that gives you a very good reward. But I'm going to move away from that because it is, like I say, a little bit gross, and we don't want to make this show too gross. I instead would like to play a game with everyone. There are a lot of you here, and owls are found all around the world. And I want to make sure that everyone here today goes home being an owl expert, basically. So I've got 3 very simple questions for you, and all I need you to say is yes or no. Now we are in a very echoey room, so please don't scream, please don't shout, but do answer as much as you can. And adults are all looking at you as well, you've got a plan on it. So, first, very simple, very easy question for you today is, do we think that owls are smart? Yes or no? What do you reckon? Yes. Yes. I'm so sorry. Owls are actually one of the least intelligent birds of prey that you find anywhere around the world. And to be even more harsh, they're actually some of the least intelligent animals in the animal kingdom. Because if you look at Thelma, as she's sitting there quite well, she looks big, but she isn't actually. A lot of what you can see is this really lovely kind of coloration and all the really important feathers. If you remove all of those feathers, her body actually shrinks to half the size, but her head is absolutely ginormous. It is one of the biggest head-to-body ratios of animals in the animal kingdom, regardless of whether you're a bird, a dolphin, a fish, you name it, just one of the biggest. And her eyes are also abnormally huge. They go from the front of her skull all the way to the back, in like a cornetto cone shape. Having such a big head and such a big eyes doesn't really leave a lot of space for her brain. So her brain, if you take her to a hospital and ask for a scan, it's about the same size as a pin. It is absolutely tiny. But I don't want you guys to go home thinking that owls are dumb, because they aren't. They're just very good at being an owl. They're very good at hunting, they're very good at sleeping, they're very good at cooing, they're very good at breathing. But if you ask her to do your maths homework, you're not going to get very far. Right? Not going to get very far with that at all. The next question for you all. Usually in cartoons, owls can spin their whole way, spin their head the whole way around. Do you reckon that's true? Yes or no? That's pretty 50-50. If anyone says no, you're pretty bang on again. It is a massive lie that the told us. Even I believe it as a kid. But unfortunately, it is not true. Owls have got 14 vertebrae in their neck compared to humans 7. So they've got a lot more movement than we do, but unfortunately not the complete cycle. If we as humans had the same head and necks as owls, you'd be able to spin your head left and it would go past your shoulder, past your spine, and touch your right shoulder, and vice versa. But that final quarter is where you get to some really important bones, muscles, and veins. Unfortunately, you mustn't twist. So if anyone goes to a different vertebrae centre and they try and teach you they've got an owl that's spinning their head the whole way around, it's usually a teddy or it's just fake. It's really not something they can do. Now last one, before you walk, before Thelma goes home and enjoys her dinner. People usually think that owls are nocturnal, so they only become active during the night. Do you reckon that's true, yes or no? Yeah, you guys are getting it now. There are over 240 owl species around the world, and only half of them are actually a truly nocturnal species. The rest of them are either active during the daytime or they are active at dawn and dusk, so sun up and sun down. Thelma here, don't tell her, but she should be a nocturnal owl. She has got those piercing black eyes that tells you that's what she should be doing. But I don't really like to do birds all the time. You can't really see it a lot, and all you guys are sleeping until it's a bird at night. She gets her dinner during the day, she becomes active during the day. Her brain's a little bit backwards, a little bit rewired. She should be at the fire, a nighttime active hunter. But Thelma here has done pretty good today. She hasn't crashed into anyone. She's made at least half of you duck, which is perfect. So I'm going to let her go home, and I'm going to grab our next owl. I'm also going to assess the weather while I'm at it as well. So just give me another minute or 2 minutes time. This little guy here is Pepe. And Pepe is a spectacled owl. Now Thelma here, or Thelma that was here, should I say, was a slightly smaller European owl. Pepe is a slightly bigger South American owl. And you can notice that there is a pretty radical change in how Thelma looks compared to how he looks. He looks pretty weak, I'll be honest. He does look like he's not really meant to be an owl. He does look like someone's drawn him. But he is equally as impressive, as talented as Thelma. So he is going to show off hopefully and impress you. But what I didn't really speak about with Thelma was how owls like to hunt. Because when you think about falcons, for example, falcons like to go in a big ringing process, thousands of feet high, and then they do something called swooping. They tuck their wings in, they tuck their feet in, and they plummet towards their prey, give it a big old crash through the sky, and they tuck into their dinner once it hits the floor. Eagles, they use their sheer power. They can chase prey, they can surprise prey, they can do anything they want because they've got such strong feet. And once those feet get onto an animal, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to get off. But owls aren't that intelligent, as we just learned. They aren't that fast, as I'm hopefully going to show you. And they haven't got that much gripping power in their feet. So they have to be really sensible with how they hunt. And their preferred hunting technique is to go out and survey the fields and then randomly drop on their prey, or in Pepe's case, he does something called perching and pouncing. Now, perching and pouncing is my personal favourite way that a bird of prey hunts, because it is maybe the laziest way that a bird of prey can hunt that you will hear of today. What Pepe will do, I need you to use your imagination a little bit. He's not sat on a big roll of astroturf in that corner. He's sat in a branch in a Colombian, just like redwood-ish, right? And he's sitting there surveying the floor, and he's waiting for a rodent to walk underneath him, and he then tuck into. Now what he will do is not move for hours and hours and hours until eventually something walks underneath him. If you get very lucky and have two small rodents walk underneath him within an hour, then he's got a really full stomach, or he can get really unlucky and not have anything walk underneath him for 2 days. He's got a really empty stomach. And in all that time, he just won't move. He will persevere, stare at the floor, and one day, somehow, something will appear that he eats. He does not like to chase, he doesn't like to go very high, he will not do any of that. He is maybe the laziest animal that I could have got for you today, right? It is a perfectly brilliant way of hunting. Good boy. But one thing that I did briefly touch on with them, right, is an owl's eyes. They are incredibly big. Having such big eyes can be compared to having a big lens on your camera, zooming in on your phone camera. It makes brilliant, really clear pictures from afar, but the second you go up close, it's blurry, it's not very good. Exactly the same for an owl's eyes. So once Pepe gives a bit of that foot or two of something that it wants to see, it can't actually see it anymore. And this sounds like a slightly difficult thing to get your head around. So I'm going to show you just how difficult it actually is for Pepe to see something that he wants to eat. Now before I do this, I do want to stress, Pepe is going to have himself some KFC before it gets KFC. It's about as raw and as fluffy as it comes. If you don't want to look at this, I'm not going to blame you. If you do look and then decide you didn't want to look, you can't blame me because I said it. Alright? But what I am going to do is call Pepe over. He's going to sit there very patiently, and usually when I feed him, I use my top 2 fingers and I post it in his mouth. But if I put the food in the bottom 2 fingers, you can't hold it down. And if you look really closely, his eyes are actually closed. He really just doesn't care. He knows he cannot see, so why not just protect your eyes? And anyone that could have seen maybe in the front row might have got a nice close look. He has got very vivid, brightly coloured eyelids. And they are an excellent tactic to help him keep safe. When he's sitting there in a tree and he decides to have a little bit of a nap, he doesn't lay down, he doesn't burrow, he literally sleeps like that. He just stands up, bolt right. But having those brightly coloured eyelids helps to trick any predators into thinking that he's still awake. And being an owl that looks like Pepe, we wouldn't think he's maybe the scariest thing you can see. But for a predator that then wants to eat him being awake and alert, will immediately make you not want to mess with him, and he'll go and find something else. Good boy. Sorry. If you have a look, just below his eyes as well, he has got this really immaculate startings of a beard. And they, as much as it doesn't look like a beard, does help him look a little bit cooler, isn't it? They are essentially cats. They've been stolen and adapted by owls. Because what he will do, when he has got his eyes closed and he's rummaging around where he can't see, is he will use those hairs as little sensory features. So he will rummage and rummage and rummage until he finds what feels like food, and then he decides to bite. And those hairs have to be incredibly accurate. Because if Pepe makes the slightest mistake and bites something that he shouldn't, he might get hurt, he might get into a bit of trouble, or worse. So he has to make sure that his whole body works really well with each other to make him the best owl he can be. And these birds are doing really well. They're found in really great numbers, they're found in lots of places. That does tell you that when an owl gets it right, they do generally get it right for a long time. But Pepe here has done really well. So I'm going to let you go home in just a minute or two. We are doing really well on time. Show off. We're doing really well on time. So I am going to suggest that perhaps we go a meal or two in the slightly drizzly horrible weather. Now, as I said, none of you are being held hostage. If you want to have an early lunch and watch out the window or perhaps us all getting slightly wet, that is of course your choice. But if you do want got on the centre that we usually end the show with. If we do that and people decide they're wet and cold enough and don't want to see another one, we won't. If people want to see another one, there's potentially a slightly smaller one we can end on. Alright, I want to keep everyone happy, but I can appreciate this isn't exactly, you know, lovely spring weather that we're maybe hoping for in March. So give me a moment, I'll be back with Rex.
T-Rex.
He's behind us.
That's a big bird.
It is the big one, I think. Oh, he's going over here.
Here we go.
He's gone. Look at him go.
Great. He'll come round. Come into our garden.
No one will definitely believe me, but that is meant to happen, I promise. He's meant to do that. Rex is a Steller sea eagle, and before I talk about Steller sea
He's
eagles,
gone far.
Yeah.
I'm going to say to you all, keep your eye on him. Partly because he's meant to go up and get a little bit of height and give us a really cool ending, and partly because he's a black and white eagle in a mist of fog, right? It's not exactly the most easy thing to spot, and if I lose sight of him, I can rely on you guys, alright? That's my plan, at least. But Rex's flying technique is something called soaring. We have taught Rex over the last 11, nearly 12 years that valley is his best friend. He goes out there, he tries to find something called a thermal, which is when the sun warms up the ground and releases hot air. On a day like today, that's not going to happen. And he climbs up to a few thousand feet and swoops down into the arena. The best I've ever seen Rex do is something between 6,500 to 7,000 feet up. And then I only know that because he got lost and they found him in Newcastle. How about that? Get lost, right? That's not getting stuck around the corner. That is a complete and utter divergence. And I'll be honest with you, we only know he was in Newcastle because a lovely lady walking her Jack Russell went out with her Jack Russell and saw him on a roundabout bullying all the swans out of the way so he could have a bath. Put it on Facebook and said, who's lost this eagle? And we had to very embarrassingly put our hands up in the comments and say, yeah, we might have lost it. And had to go all the way up there, get in the car and drive all the way down. On a day like today, I can absolutely assure you we aren't going to lose him. I'm not even convinced he's going to leave that post. But we're going to see how we go. You've got to have a little bit of confidence. However, Rex is a Steller sea eagle, as I mentioned, and Steller sea eagles are potentially the biggest eagle that you find in the world. I say potentially because, as with most things, no one can decide what the biggest should be. There are 3 big measurements when you're talking about birds of prey, and each one of those has their own biggest eagle. So Rex and his Steller sea eagle, they are technically the biggest in terms of weight. You have got 2 others, you've got the Harpy eagle and the Philippines eagle. They are the biggest in terms of wingspan and in terms of weight. Now those 2 that I just mentioned are incredibly endangered, incredibly well protected, and I'm not even sure they exist in England, whether it be in captivity, in a private collection. I don't think you can see one for love nor money. Now you're all sat in the rain, that eagle there might be the biggest. Let's all just agree he's the biggest. The quicker we agree, the quicker we get out of the rain. But whether you think he is or not, hopefully you can agree that he's impressive. And ladies, no he's not, he's flying. Go, go, go!
Good.
But you find these birds in Russia, mainly, and a few neighbouring European countries. But you don't land again, keep going. The people will boo if you land again. And you'll also find them in a few neighbouring European countries. And then these birds are what we call a migration bird. So they do thousands of miles every year from Russia all the way over to China, Japan, and North and South Korea. That is a ridiculously long stretch to travel. And Rex does that because he likes to breed in certain particular conditions, and he follows something called the salmon run. Now I can guarantee that you guys might have seen the salmon run before without even realising it. It's when the adult salmon kind of like jump out of the water against the current to go back to where they want to have their own babies. Rex, as a sea eagle, absolutely loves salmon. It's the ultimate food, and a fish that's out of water is maybe about as good as it can get for an eagle. They've just got to time it, they pluck it out the air, he's got himself the best dinner he can have. And the fish migrate, the eagles follow the fish, they eventually make their way all the way over to China and Japan and Korea. And these birds are absolutely adored, especially in China and Japan, by the locals. So much so that the locals have little charities and organisations. People donate money, they buy fish, and they feed the eagles when the water starts to freeze over. And you can see anywhere from 10 to 15 eagles all around, all tucking into a meal, all having a lovely time with each other. Rex, this is awfully boring. Fly! Up and away, Rex! Now, for anyone that might have followed us on social media, you might have known that we have been closed for the last 6 months due to avian flu. It's a very scary thing that these eagles and birds can catch. So we've given them rest, we've given them roofs, total and utter security. And people say to me all the time, aren't your eagles incredibly sad that they can't fly? Exhibit A. He has got all of the desire in the world right now to do nothing, but he's got all the ability. He can go further north than Newcastle. If he wants to go to Scotland for a day, he can do it. He can do whatever he likes. He's choosing to sit there and look pretty and pose for pictures. Not exactly what we were hoping for when you came to a flying display, was it? Right. Rex, come on. Do one more. And everyone can go and get warm. Let's go! Now, birds of prey are very stubborn. When you train a bird of prey, essentially it's a game of who can be more stubborn, the bird or the trainer. On a lovely sunny day, I can definitely out-stubborn an eagle. On a miserable, cold, rainy day, I'm not sure I've got that much about me compared to Rex's determination. So I'm not going to push him too much more. I'm going to try and encourage him just while I wrap up the show. But I have got a few things, so please bear with me just for another minute or two. First of all, I do want to say a very happy belated birthday to Josh in the front row. This lovely young man, he had his birthday all the way back in November. Due to our closure, he's had to wait, he's had to postpone it. But better late than never. So happy late birthday, early birthday, however we want to call it. Second of all, thank you guys very much for coming to Eagle Heights today. We are a non-for-profit charity, so all the money that you guys give us in entrance, in the shop, in the tea room, you name it, goes straight back into the animals. As much as I'd love it, I don't get paid lunch. So you guys do all of the visiting you do goes directly back on all of the animals. Thirdly, now that the show is done, you guys can eat outside, you can walk around, you can do what you like. I can't imagine anyone's going to want to eat outside, but if you want to, you know, you can do what you like. And I just want to say once again, thank you for visiting us, and hopefully we'll see you back on a slightly less wet Elizabeth day. Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Oh, keep trying. Yeah. There he goes. There he goes. There he goes. He knew it was the end.
Wow.
Yeah, look at him. He's big.
Look at the size of
Whew. This camera's so wide, no one can get away.
That would be nice for him.
Oh. Cool about it.
Oh, I'm off.
Take us to rugby game in Scotland.
That's the same.
We're going to get the food in our hand. Everyone stay seated for me.
He goes.
The bullets go.